Narcissism is a personality disorder characterized by excessive self-preoccupation, need for admiration, lack of empathy, and unconscious deficits in self-esteem. Narcissism is most prominently displayed as egocentricity, self-absorption, self-centeredness, and vanity. Some of these characteristics can make a person seem extremely compelling and confident, but narcissism is a deep cover for instability and insecurity. Narcissists typically have a very fragile self-esteem that is vulnerable to the slightest criticism. The term originated from Greek mythology, where a young man named Narcissus fell in love with his own image reflected in a pool of water. Narcissism is considered an uncommon disorder, but is much more prevalent than many people realize. For narcissistic pride is the very foundation and core of the ego itself. This is the animal and survival nature of the ego. The unbridled ego is insatiable and does not care about the rights or lives of others. It does not want limits on impulse gratification, and authority is resented and hated. Frustration of the narcissistic ego is the most frequent trigger for anger and hatred. Narcissism is typical of the lower levels of consciousness, which manifest in this world as greed, bitterness, envy, ignorance, pride, control, superiority, and specialness. Narcissism is anti-equality and always adopts a stance of being right and better than. This manifests as a result of the ego's dualistic perception that assumes it is separate from everything and everyone, unless adopted through mentally constructed labels, such as my family, my friends, my religion, my race, and my country. Everything not labeled as mine, to the lower ego mind, would be seen as other and inferior or wrong. It is not difficult to see how much conflict such minds create in the world. For spiritual seekers of truth, and those ready to evolve beyond the prison of the delusional ego, it is important to accept the ego for what it is, simply the survival, lower animal mind. When seen for what it is, it can be viewed with compassion, for the ego can't be killed, but only surrendered, let go, and transcended. Beyond the narcissistic, dualistic ego-thinking mind lies the ground and essence of your true being, the light of consciousness that is always pure and present. The key to dropping narcissistic delusions is humility, which accepts fallibility and error as a normal human characteristic of self and other. We are all on the path, whether we know it or not. Raise your level of consciousness and raise the world.